a segment I like to call Midnights of Our Past. In this week's episode, I'm going to cover Pride FC Total Elimination 2004. This was the first round of the Pride Heavyweight Tournament in 2004, with I was about to say Strike Force Heavyweight Tournament. The Bellator Heavyweight Tournament kicked off last weekend with the first fight with Rampage versus Chael Sonnen. I wanted to cover the Pride Heavyweight Grand Prix. Start off with that. This one was an amazing event. It was a legendary tournament. A lot of great fights. All the great fighters, heavyweights. Let's get started. We had Heath Herring versus Yoshiki Takahashi. This was a good fight. Takahashi actually came out pretty good strategy. He was bringing it to Heath Herring, but Heath ended up getting him down with some ground and pound and ended up finishing him with it, KOing him with the ground and pound. You had Semi Schilt versus Gan McGee. This was like the matchup of the giants. I believe they're both like 7 feet tall or close to it. So that was an interesting matchup. Definitely check that out. You had Stefan Lenko versus Noya Ogawa. Stefan Lenko was a high-level K1 kickboxer, for guys who don't know. And this was like his transition over. A lot of people saw Mirko doing well in Pride, so like the kickboxers wanted to step over to MMA and test their skills in that. Ogawa, being like a professional wrestler, he kind of had his way with Lenko in there. But he also caught him. Stefan Lenko got dropped with a shot by Ogawa, so that was really interesting to see. Definitely a good fight to watch. Also, Sergey Haritonov versus Murillo Ninja Hua. Ninja moved up from middleweight. Like, he put on weight and not, like, muscle weight. He just, like, didn't, just ate whatever he wanted. It looked like from, like, his physique in that fight. And Sergey was just landing body shot after body shot. Like, he kept throwing the right hook to the body over and over again in Ninja, and it was landing solid. Some of the cleanest body shots I've ever seen in MMA. They just kept landing and landing. And then Ninja, he goes to block the shot to the body, but Sergey goes upstairs and just clobbers him with a right hook. And it sends Ninja stumbling onto the ropes, and Sergey just finishes him with a combination that knocks him out cold. That was a legendary knockout. It was a crazy fight. Definitely check that one out as well. It's like one legendary knockout after another. You got in the next fight, it was Kevin Randleman versus Mirko Cro Cop. This is when Randleman knocked out Cro Cop. Everyone was expecting Cro Cop to win this match and move on to face Fedor. That was the fight everyone wanted to see, Fedor versus Mirko. But Randleman, with the huge upset, with the huge punch, just knocked out Mirko. It was a violent KO. If you haven't seen it, definitely check that one out. You had Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira versus Hirotaka Yokoi. Yokoi was a young Japanese fighter coming up. He had some good judo. They kind of matched him with Nogueira to see. This was kind of trying to like kind of a highlight match for Nogueira, trying to build him back up. They wanted to build that rematch between him and Fedor. So that's what they were kind of working towards. And in the main event, you had Fedor Emelianenko versus Mark Coleman. Fedor being the Pride Heavyweight Champion, and Mark Coleman being a former UFC Heavyweight Champion. And Mark Coleman won the 2000 Heavyweight Grand Prix in Pride. So it was kind of like the old guard versus the new guard. And Fedor ended up getting one of the fastest arm bars I've ever seen in any weight class. Not just heavyweight. For heavyweight, it's unreal. To this day, watching it, I can't believe how fast Fedor gets that arm bar. His hips move so like fluid, like stumbling on my words here. Like it's amazing the way he moves his hip on the ground from the bottom to get that arm bar. It was unreal. It was so fast. Coleman, it totally took him by surprise. I think he tried to hold out as long as he could, but Fedor just like straightened his arm out, and he was forced to tap. Coleman was like holding his arm afterwards. It looked like he pretty much like he hurt it. He got injured in the arm bar. That was so many great heavyweight fights on this card. So many great heavyweight fighters. The one thing about Pride, they might have had some fights that were like sideshow fights, but they brought everything to card. They always had a fight for everyone. They had a fight that was high level competition, the best of the best fighting each other. They always had like one sideshow fight. They had like one casual fight. One fight with maybe like a professional wrestler or like to bring in some attention from there, or Olympian or some other type of athlete. They had people think like, oh, Japanese sideshow fights. That's not all they had, and it was never the main event. The sideshow fights, they were always like in the middle of the card. And they knew how to bring in all types of audience. They brought in audiences from everywhere. Like they had one type of fight on every card. Like they had the sideshow, the contender fight, high level. They brought a little bit of everything to all the cards, and that's why they were so stacked, and why I believe they did so well. So that's really nice to see. Going back to watch the Pride fights, they had something for everyone, and it was very entertaining. The whole show and spectacle is amazing. If you can get a chance to watch the events from beginning to end with the intros and interviews, it's definitely an experience. It's a lot of fun. I love watching the old Pride events. Even it's to this day, like even back in the day, I used to love it, and I still do now. They're just a lot of fun. So check out Total Elimination 2004. Check out the Bellator tonight, and check out the UFC tomorrow night. And Sunday I'll bring you a post-fight special recapping the Bellator and the UFC. And stay tuned every week for an episode. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and we'll keep you posted. Thank you guys. Bye.